Have you ever been in the situation when you really want to do some kind of drawing or painting, but drawing mostly since it's a drawing channel, and you have no idea what to draw? Like you look around and nothing seems to you, nothing is appealing to you. And if you've been there, I've been there many times. One time I remember with some friends, we drove 3 hours one way to one paint in this one town. None of us found one thing. We ended up coming back home and we painted from my backyard. That's when I lived in the countryside in Indiana. So that has happened to me several times, and I'm sure you go through the same thing. And I have a few suggestions here for you that you might find interesting. So hang around and listen to what I have to say. Well, welcome to Senior Artist Strokes. This channel I have created for you, a drawing channel just for the beginner and for the senior who is looking to start a new activity. Beautiful activity that you will love it. I promise you that. And I'm Angel Mercado. When I sketch this drawing, I call it the backyard. I was going through one of those times when, nothing was singing to me. I couldn't see anything, couldn't find anything. And all I had to do was look outside the window of my studio. Then I had a big studio with big windows, and they were facing the backyard. And I happened to be looking outside, and there it was. The sun was just hitting the tree trunk of this beautiful hickory tree we had, big old hickory tree. And to me, there it was the poetry. I told you, I always try to find poetry in my work. So sometimes we don't really need to have beautiful photographs with beautiful views. Sometimes all we need to do is just look outside the window. And I keep on doing that. I have done that several times since then. So this is another idea of how we can get inspired to do something just by looking around our surroundings. So if you find this video helpful, please give me a like. I do these videos for free just to help you, and I like to share my knowledge. That's it. So if you give me a like, subscribe, beautiful, ring the little ding bell, right? So you will know when I'm posting new videos. That would be beautiful. Now if you can share it, it will be even better. And I have created this free lesson for you. It's in a PDF form. All you have to do, just down below, get this lesson for free. I will send you an email with the PDF attached to it, and you can enjoy this lesson. I'm sure you'll find it helpful because, again, it was made just for you. So now let's go to the drawing board. The first thing, we're going to use pencils today. So I just do vary a little bit between, vary from charcoal to pencil. So the lower part here, I always like to, draw a frame first. Very loose, nothing too complicated. There. It might not appear very straight to you, maybe like this, vertical or horizontal, but that's because of the angle of the camera. Believe me, it's straight. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do here is, since it's a landscape, I like to establish my horizon line. It's going to be low to the plane here, like there. And we have this beautiful house in Indiana. And it has some beautiful big trees, hickories and maples, and they were just beautiful, full of character. That's what I liked about these trees. They were full of character. Okay, so that's kind of like the indication of my first tree. And if you notice, look how I'm holding the pencil. I'm drawing with the side. I'm not using the tip, or like I'm writing, holding like that. No, like this. It's so much easier because it makes very nice free loose lines, and they're very light. If I need to erase them or whatever, I can do that very easy. Okay, so right in here was our neighbor's garage. He was a nice, kind of beautiful woodworking shop in it, and he helped me with some frames, make some frames for me. Has some nice neighbors there. There, and now here is going to be the garage. Shows a little bit of the siding here, and this is going to be the edge of it. So that's the drawing. And now we are going to start adding some tone to the paper. And since this is for summer times, a lot of leaves in the trees, we're just going to start creating texture by adding, adding the pencil lines. This was pretty much all in the dark here. There were a lot of some big pine trees behind here, so it was very dark, this area. I remember that. This area here between the garage, neighbor's garage, and the tree also was dark because it was lined up. Different types of vegetation, trees. We had some different bushes. We had some pines in the background, so it was very dark background, which it made it pretty nice. The reason I think why it caught my eye this scene was because of the sun was hitting this tree so beautiful. It's because it was so dark in the background, so it really made everything, the tree trunk where the sun was reflecting on, it made it look very bright and beautiful. Okay, so this, of course, this part is going to be under shadow. So we're going to darken this, and very light. You see how light I'm going. I hope you can capture that, because that's important. Here, pretty much this whole shed, including the roof and the siding, it was dark. Absolutely no sunlight was reflecting anywhere here. There. And we had shadows going across. Like that. And of course we have some other trees in the background, and they're out of sight here, so there were some other shadows in there. And here, this of course was casting a shadow on the ground, like that. There we go. Okay, now this is the roof. So it was some, shadows under the roof there, under the eave. And we want to darken this a little bit more. And here's when it's a good time, like I mentioned before, for you to squint your eyes. When you squint your eyes, you can see so much better the values in the tones. So it's a good idea just to squint your eyes. And as you can see, I'm not too concerned about the drawing being very accurate, losing the drawing. We have buildings here, but I'm not concerned about making straight lines. Everything happens, as I apply tone to the paper. Here also we have another big tree that was pretty much all the way on this edge. Just sunbathing the whole scene. Beautiful dark tones. See, as I'm working with pencil, uh, and I know it's because I start light. But with charcoal, I would bend, my gosh, I would add it down so much faster with charcoal. Here we have some other branches coming from this big hickory into the sea. There we go. So that's looking pretty good. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to redefine a little bit the tone of this tree coming down like this. Of course, this side of the tree is going to be darker. And this tree had a big split right in here, so we're going to draw that because that was something then make this tree a little more unique too, because of this split had a different look of the tree trunk. And we're pretty much going to darken this edge of the tree trunk, and as you can see, I'm blending it with the background because I know the background is going to go darker than this, so it's okay if I blend it with the background. You see how light this looks all of a sudden because I darken everything around. And hickory, has this loose bark, so we're just going to do lines like this to represent that. And like I said, just try to squint your eyes just to see how the tones are coming along. Now we're going to add the insinuation of siding here. Also, this don't have to be very, straight. This shed also has some siding, so we're going to put a few lines to indicate this. So little by little we're seeing how our drawing is emerging. And now I'm going to get my eraser. This is how we warm it up, and this is how we clean it up also. Whatever sharp was or pencil was on the surface, it will blend like this. This is important to get this part of the trunk light because this was one of the lightest parts of the tree trunk. Also this line right here where the trunk was starting to separate. I often wonder if this tree is still up there. It got hit by lightning a couple of times. It just had a rough life, poor thing. But still was beautiful. Beautiful enough to sketch. Okay, so here it is. This is the final drawing of the backyard. So now, when you are in doubt on what to sketch, remember, just check your surroundings. You might find something that might surprise you. Never seen it before, and then after that, you're always going to see it again, and that is beautiful because you get to enjoy it. Remember, this is a hickory, so I'm drawing these lines again to show it better. There we go. Remember, visit my channel for more videos. If you are searching for that, I'm sure you'll find something that is going to help you, because most of my sketches are like this. It's very easy to follow. They're easy to sketch. You don't need to be so accurate, and yet have something, that it says something. It has some kind of meaning. It's not just a very tight rendering. It's a sketch. which I think is the best way for me personally to get your message across, more than just a drawing. Until next time, goodbye. Right, I can believe I finished with that battery.